Hey, good morning, Mizzou fans. Gabe DeArmond here, PM in the AM for Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Missouri plays South Carolina in basketball tonight. We'll have full coverage of that one, but I want to change gears a little bit today, talk some football with you guys. NFL Scouting Combine gets fully underway on Thursday in Indianapolis with player workouts. Missouri's got 4 guys there. Brady Cook trying to work his way into the NFL draft. Theo Weiss, trying to figure out where he might go. Armand Mimbo seems fairly cemented at this point as a first round draft pick. But the guy I want to talk about, wide receiver Luther Burden III. I think we've spent 3.5, 4.5 years now assuming A, Luther Burden is going to be a first round NFL draft pick, and B, he will be the first Missouri player off the board. B now seems very much in doubt. I think that Armand Mimbo, if you look at mock drafts, if you just kind of pay attention to what's gone on the last 2 months, Senior Bowl, everything since the end of the college football season, I think he's pretty likely the first Missouri player off the board, somewhere in the teens in the first round. Seen him as high as 10, but seems pretty certain to be a first round draft pick. Luther Burden suddenly seems a little less certain to be among the first 32 players picked. Now, look, he's going to be drafted, and he's going to be drafted certainly, in a good position, in a position expected to come in, contribute right away in the National Football League. That is still not in doubt. But Daniel Jeremiah, a couple days ago, came out with a mock draft. Luther Burden, not in the first round. Mel Kiper's newest mock draft came out on Tuesday morning. Luther Burden, not in the first round. Now, the interesting part is he is viewed universally as a top 5 wide receiver in this draft. I think anywhere between 3 and 5. The top 2 receivers in this draft, in some order, most people have Travis Hunter at Colorado, number 1, the Heisman Trophy winner, assuming he plays wide out in the NFL, and that's where it seems to be going. Most people have Tetairoa McMillan from Arizona, number 2. 3, 4, 5 is some order. Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, Luther Burden from Missouri, Matthew Golden from Texas. Which order that is in just depends on, each person's opinion and who you're looking at. But Luther is considered a top 5 wide receiver. A few things going into this. First of all, not everybody needs a wide receiver, right? So if you get past X number of teams, and just like they say, it only takes one team to fall in love with you. Like, it only takes one team out there to think Luther Burden's the best receiver in this draft. And who knows, he goes number 8, right? So that is still in play. But it also only takes one team to decide either we like a different wide receiver better, or we don't want a wide receiver here, to start dropping. Like, there are a number of teams you can look at and say they're not going to take a wide out in the first round, and just immediately, hey, that's not a spot. So if the next team that does need a wide out either takes a different one or doesn't take one, then hey, you got a few more spots you're falling. This is what the NFL draft is. I think there's 2 big questions around Luther Burden right now. Number one, the numbers dropped this year. There's no question. Now, what the reason for that is, was that Brady Cook? Was that the offensive scheme? Was that how defenses were playing him? Or was Luther Burden not as good a player this year as he was last year? Or was it some combination of all of them? Again, I'm not going to tell you it was one thing or that I even know which one it was. But the production clearly dropped quite a bit this year in 2024. The second question, he's going to have to go interview at the draft combine and impress these teams. And he's going to have to answer some questions, not only about hey, what happened with the numbers, but also with the things that Missouri fans were arguing about on Twitter and message boards. What was going on with the sideline behavior at Texas A&M? Why did you not really appear to celebrate with your teammates when you iced the Arkansas game? And I want to be clear, I've never gotten any indication Luther Burden's a bad kid by any stretch of the imagination. Seems to be a good kid. He's a wide receiver. That comes with certainly a set of a behavioral set, I guess, that goes back well before Luther Burden was even born with the position. But he is going to have to answer some of those questions. So I think how he interviews what impression scouts and general managers and head coaches come away from this week with will go a long way. And let's be clear, mock drafts are not gospel. All the time, mock drafts say one thing and a different thing happens. So Luther Burden may very well be a top 15 pick in the NFL draft in April. He also may slip. And if he's a second round pick, it doesn't mean he's not a superstar in the NFL, right? There are examples every single year of guys that don't go in the first round who should have gone in the first round. So this is all just like message board drama, Twitter speculation, things like that for now. Luther will get his shot. I would assume he will work out in Indianapolis this week. I would assume he will impress. 40-yard dash, I'll be interested to see what he does. It may not be his strongest point. Like, I don't think straight line speed is what makes Luther Burden stand out. I think it's the shiftiness, the ability to break tackles, things like that. But I think he'll impress at workouts. I think the interviews are every bit as important this week for Luther as the workouts are themselves. So it'll be interesting to see, again, 4 Tigers there. We're going to try to hopefully have some coverage from Indy, maybe some video interviews with the Mizzou guys. Is a little bit hit and miss. It's tough to do, but I've got some guys up there hopefully able to grab some stuff for us, and we'll have that on YouTube, on Power Mizzou, all that. But I just wanted to kind of touch base on the combine. We'll be back talking basketball tomorrow morning because Mizzou and South Carolina at 8 o'clock tonight. Like, comment, share, and subscribe while you're here. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.